Big age statements seem to be coming back on labels. We've got the Knob Creek 10-year rye. Very excited about it. Let's get into it. Hi friends, I'm Laura, this is Troy, we're Baker Drinks, and we've got a review for you of the Knob Creek 10-year rye. This is 100 proof, brand new, haven't tried it yet. Their packaging has not gotten easier.
There it goes.
Oh geez.
That was a rough one.
That was stuck to me.
You need an assist?
There we go.
So not normally our style. We typically like to open these up, spend a little time with them, have a drink or two before we collect our thoughts. But Laura's been out of commission for a while. She wasn't able to drink. She's back, she's drinking, and we're behind on reviews. You're probably tired of getting the list videos from us, so we thought we'd just fresh crack one and tell you our thoughts as it happens.
Let's get into it. Cheers. Cheers.
So
it's fresh.
Yeah, I've seen a couple reviews on this already, and they said it was pretty minty. I don't get the mint on the nose at all.
I do. It's a very fresh, herbal note, minty.
Yeah.
Like a sweet mint, but not like really strong. It's only 100 proof, so it's not like a ton jumping out of the glass on the first nose, but I definitely get, it's very refreshing. Like, I feel like my thirst is going to be quenched when I drink this.
Yeah, so on the nose for me, it smells more like what you would call a bourbon drinker's rye. I get a lot of the traditional bourbon notes on the nose. There is a slight herbal tone to it that's like not in the forefront, but it's there. It's noticeable. You know you're not drinking just a regular bourbon.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's got a little bit of that candy cherry smell to it as well. Little bit of oak, but if I were to try to guess the age based on the smell, I wouldn't think this was overly aged. I think it was just kind of an average age statement.
Yeah. And I'm still not picking up any mint, even though I am actively searching for it, but I did that last nose get a touch of dill.
I get no dill.
And not like dill pickle dill, but like fresh dill from the garden.
Yeah, I don't get that.
All right, I'm gonna have a sip.
Cheers again.
Cheers again to you.
There's quite a few things going on in that first sip. I do get a lot of oak. I definitely get the oak age flavor on the palate. I get that sweet herbal mint note on the palate. And then I pick up that nutty flavor pretty easily, and I get a little bit of that Jim Beam nuttiness towards the end, towards the back of the palate.
Laura's getting a lot more on this than I am. I get the tingliness on my tongue that is associated with a lot of rye whiskeys. And I mean, my tongue's not going numb, but I definitely get the tingle, like I said, and not super warm. Like I can feel right about here that I took a drink of some whiskey, but I would not guess that it was very high proof. There's no real burn to this.
No.
I don't know. It's not really moving the needle for me right now.
Well, I think we're gonna get into our quick little review here, give it a score, and come back and tell you what our overall impression is.
Yeah, that taste was better than the first one.
You gotta give it some time. You can't just, it's not all off of the first sip.
First impressions are everything.
Everything. I mean, I hate giving my score because I feel like I'm always a very harsh critic, but it's equal for all. I'm harsh to everything because I just think that there's always something better. There's got, it's good.
If Laura ever gives a really good score, you should just stop what you're doing and go find that bottle, because that's going to be like the best thing available.
Okay, so let's just get into it. On the nose, I enjoyed the aroma or flavor or whatever you want to call it. I gave it an 8. I thought it was refreshing smelling. It was very sweet, minty. It's just pleasant. It's nice.
Yeah, so for me on the aroma, I said it was very bourbony. You hear it all the time. This is a bourbon drinker's rye, and I feel like this fits that category very well. I could actually be convinced pretty easily that I was drinking a bourbon, maybe like an off-profile bourbon, because there is that slight herbal tone to it, but I didn't get the classic rye notes that I would have expected. I did not get any mint anywhere near this on the nose or the palate at any time. I did get a hint of dill. So I gave the aroma an 8. I gave the depth a 7.5 just because I was looking for more rye type notes. If this was a bourbon, I would have given that depth an 8.5 because I feel like there was a lot going on for a bourbon, not a lot going on for a rye.
Yeah, I said 7 for depth because it was pleasant. I enjoyed it. I just, it's once you smell it kind of thing. I'm not getting all these new things as I keep smelling it. It's just every time I go back to it, it's that note. It's enjoyable.
Still no mint.
That's okay. I'm not getting any dill. So there's that. So then on the palate, so just like we said before, there's a tingle on the tongue, but there's no burn. There's not a crazy mouthfeel to it. It's kind of drink simple. It's easy to drink. So I love ryes, and I prefer like a crazy strong rye flavor to my ryes. I want to know I'm drinking a rye. I want it to take me on a roller coaster, give me all these crazy flavors while I'm drinking it. And this one doesn't do that. It's a easy drinker, and it almost comes across boring because of that to me. I get some cherry, some sweet oak, a tiny bit of mint, and a tiny bit of nuttiness in there sparingly. Good flavor, just not what I look for in a rye. So for flavor, I said it was a 6. For mouthfeel, I said a 6. Balance, I'd say it's very well balanced. There's nothing standing out in any direction. So I gave it an 8, and the complexity, I gave it a 7.
On the palate, I said it was sweet. It's oaky. The 10-year age statement shows up on the palate. I definitely got the oak. It's got some spice. There's a mild herbalness to it. Still no mint. I thought it had a thin-ish kind of mouthfeel, and Laura had the similar experience. I gave it a 7.5 on the flavor. I gave it a 7 on the feel. The balance, I gave it an 8, and the complexity, I gave it an 8. There was some definite complexity to it, and I think that's from the age, the time in the oak. That barrel brought out a little something in there that you don't typically get on a rye.
And then finish, kind of goes into the oakiness for me, but it doesn't last overly long. It just kind of fades into oak, and then it's gone. So I said for flavor, I enjoy an oaky whiskey, so I said a 7 on flavor, and then a length, I said 6.
Yeah, so I said it had a medium finish. It was never bitter to me, though. It was slightly drying, and that's that 10-year age statement, that oak influence. And I still got no mint on the finish.
No, I think it's just sweet oak.
Yeah, so I gave the flavor an 8, and I gave the length a 7.5.
Yeah, so for overall impression, it looks like they're standard Knob Creek stuff, same bottle, same packaging. You know what you're getting when you see this bottle. It's gonna be something solid. And then value, MSRP is like $65. We live in Washington, nothing's MSRP. So we paid about $75. So it's a little higher on the price point for a Knob Creek, but it is 10 years old. The 12-year bourbon is about the same MSRP, right? $65. So it's right where you'd expect the price to be.
I kind of have a similar opinion about the bottle. You know, when you're talking 10-year age statement and everybody out there's, you know, preaching that $10 per year of age statement,
or even 12 is what I've been hearing lately. $12 per year, which is insanity.
You'd
That's
expect to see this bottle around $100, but at 65 MSRP and even the 75 we paid in Washington, that's good. I applaud Beam for keeping the price down. I wish there was a little bit more to it than there is, but I gave it a 7.5 on impression and a 7.5 on a value. My total score is a 76.5, so it's a good whiskey. It's probably slightly above average as far as our shelfers would go.
Yeah, I gave it a 70. It's good. It's just not something we generally reach for. And if I were gonna go for a lower proof rye, age stated, older, I'm gonna go with the Bullet 12-year because it's cheaper and I like the taste better.
You definitely get the mint in the Bullet.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking for in a rye. I want to know I'm drinking rye whiskey. But if you just you're more of a bourbon drinker and you want to dabble into rye whiskey, this might be a good one to start with. It's low proof. It's pretty friendly for bourbon flavors, and you know, if you like Knob Creek, you're probably gonna like this one.
Yeah, so let's address that burning question that if you're still with us this late in the video, you're probably wondering, just say it. Would you buy this again if we were to empty that bottle out?
No, I wouldn't.
And I'm the same. I feel like this is a one-time purchase for us. You know, take that for what it's worth.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. Cheers.